Hello everyone, welcome back to episode number 8, the final episode in the starting zone for these original 8 characters. If you're joining me for the first time here on my channel, I'm doing a hardcore challenge in Classic WoW where I level all of the classes on the Alliance side to level 60 without dying. If anyone dies, I need to delete immediately and restart that class. I can't trade with other players, I can't use the auctionist, I can't be grouping with other players, I can't accept their help, and I am not using add-ons or looking up things on Google, looking up any guides or quests or anything like that. But I can trade between these 8 characters. So that's kind of the rules I'm going for. It's going to be a big challenge. We're just about to finish up kind of the starting zones of each character. We've done every other class except for Warlock so far. So if you want to and you haven't, check out those videos. But let's get right into this one by making a Gnome Warlock. It's the final of the classes. I'm doing 2 for each race. So Warlock, Gnome's the obvious choice there. Get a little bit of intellect in there. And let's just randomize a look for this Gnome. Sure, we'll go with that. And then randomize a name, Janetti. Love it. Let's do it. Okay, so this was the 4th time doing Cold Ridge Valley, so that's, is what it is. We're going to be seeing a lot of Dunmorrow because we have obviously 4 characters in Dunmorrow at the end of these 8 episodes, so we're going to see a lot of that. But that's what it is. That's part of the challenge. Gotta do all the classes. So let's get right to it. So let's talk a little bit about Warlock. So Warlock, I decided back in my Mage episode, was gonna be my Enchanter. I'm gonna stick to that. That makes sense to me. The reason I decided that, if you haven't watched that video, is because I was originally going to make my... Oh yes, another part of this challenge, I should mention, in case it's the first time watching, is that I'm also trying to get every profession to max on at least one time on one character, on one of the characters. So that's another part of the challenge is getting every single profession to max level. Or at least that's kind of an add-on to the challenge that I've decided to kind of tack on. If for some reason I can't think of one that becomes impossible for some reason or something like that, I guess I'll revert that. But I think it should be fine, because if you don't know, to get max of enchanting, you need to go into a dungeon called Ulman in Classic WoW. The trainer for that level of enchanting, the final leg of it, is in Ulman, which is a dungeon. Not a super high level dungeon, but it's definitely not a low level dungeon either. It's kind of a mid. It's kind of the highest of the mid tier dungeons, I would say. It's not easy for a close to max level to solo entirely, and still poses a threat to any hardcore character while you're in there. I think I actually have never done Old Man on like level 60 of all classes or anything like that, or I can't really remember last. I definitely did go to Old Man a couple of times, like on a max level in Classic, but I don't recall exactly how easy it was. I think there's still things can still deal damage to you and stuff, right? So you're not in total. It might be complete cakewalk. I'm not sure, but that's why I decided to make my Warlock the Enchanter, just so I think there'd be really minimal risk then in going into that dungeon to train enchanting, because as a Warlock I should be really tough and have a pet, so it should be really easy for me to and low risk to train up enchanting as a Warlock in Ultimate. Super far down the line, but I thought I'd plan ahead and make my Warlock the Enchanter. So the Warlock's gonna be Enchanter, and the other profession is probably gonna start out as another gathering profession, either skinning, herbalism, or otherwise, or mining. I haven't decided on that one fully. I think after I film this episode, I'll have everyone in their kind of, at level 6 in the inn in the second town of their zone, and I will at that point I will go through, make a spreadsheet of what my plan is for each character's profession, kind of how much I think I'm gonna need of each kind of resource, and plan out, make sure I have enough characters doing each gathering actions to make sure that we can continue progressing efficiently on these characters. because I'm definitely going to start a lot of people on professions that I'm not going to keep them on. Like, I'm going to put a lot of people on gathering professions right away. Like, this person actually probably won't start with enchanting. It's probably not going to first profession, probably not going to be one of the first 2 professions that she gets. I'm probably going to start her on probably double gathering and move to enchanting later, because getting enchanting immediately really doesn't do much, because you don't get gear to disenchant very frequently in the first few levels of getting outside the starting zone. So there's really not much point doing that. Might as well wait for a certain amount of critical massive greens in your bank or something like that before doing that. Although this person will be the last person to be doing any leveling after the second wave of videos. Like, so after everyone's got a starting zone, this person will be the last person that we return to. So they might actually have a bunch of stuff have already been sent to them to kickstart their professions. That is possible. So it's possible that this person might go straight into tailoring and enchanting, or not tailoring, enchanting, whatever, and enchanting, because the tailor is going to be my mage. But this person might go straight into enchanting if a bunch of people have got some greens that I want to disenchant and send them to this person. Yeah, so that might be the case. And just thinking about that is, I'm probably not going to disenchant many of the early greens. That's going to be something I need to think about, because I'm leveling up 8 characters concurrently with each other, which means every single green item that drops probably will be an upgrade on someone. And keeping track of that without add-ons is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to have to literally write things down, I think, like what people's gear are and stuff like that. Or having to be double checking and stuff and keeping that in my head. You know, I'm not gonna get armor. No point. I'm just going to get money. I'm just gonna plan to get money. Gotta get money. Okay, keep the water. Do we want to buy an extra water? No, not yet. Not for Warlock. Don't need it as much. 6 trogs. What do we get at level 2 as Warlock? I don't recall, so it's worth going to find out. Get level 2 for Warlock. Because yeah, every green item that drops in the earlier levels that we see, it's likely that it's going to be an upgrade for somebody. So, although it's probably worth sometimes forgoing a slight upgrade to do another disenchant on my enchanter, especially if I know, if I can remember, if I will replace that upgrade soon with a quest drop, like a guaranteed quest, a reward. So that is Immolate. Oh, that's a great spell to get early on. Yeah. Definitely good level 2 spell. Immolate. Okay. And is this the quest? Is this the quest for our imp beginnings? Yeah, okay, let's just, honestly, I'm gonna do things a little different than I normally would. I'm gonna go get those immediately, because getting an imp as soon as I can is definitely gonna be the play. So I'm going to just run straight to, I'm gonna forego the Rockjaw quest that I normally would do, the Trog quest. And I'll just do that a little bit later. Getting the imp as soon as I can is probably going to be the most important part, the most important thing I can do here. So I'm going to go quickly hand in this mail delivery quest, get the boar quest, hand in the other mail delivery quest, then head straight into the cave, get those novices done, and maybe even hearth then? Probably not. It might be worth hearthing. I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, let's hand this in. Get the boar quest. And I'm not even gonna bother killing these boars yet. Because an imp early on. Sorry, didn't mean to cough. Right to mic, should have muted myself. But the boar quest, or the imp early on, is a pretty big DPS increase for the warlock early on. So definitely worth just getting that as soon as I can. It's gonna be important. Coldwood Valley Mill livery. And kill some whelps. We'll kill some of the whelps, obviously, as well. Yeah, doing things in a slightly different order than typical for gnome or dwarf, but that's great because we've been doing the same thing. This will be the 4th time we're doing this area, and so doing it slightly different is good, and getting the imp as soon as we can, I think, is also a good idea. Immolate, burn that guy down. Level up to level 3. That's great. Back there. Immolate, do some work here. Starting with Immolate actually makes more sense because it gives more time to tick as it's getting hit by other stuff. Definitely don't want to rush here. I mean, no chance of dying, I think, here, but definitely don't want to. Taking on more than 2 mob as a caster is really, even if you have dots, damage over time effects, at this stage, it's not really doing much good because it really interrupts my casting and makes things really hard. Stick to single target whenever we can. Okay. And, you know, the fact that I'm going to be going to this cave a little bit early, a little bit dangerous, but also helps me just get a little bit head on XP that I need to do anyway later on. That's fine. Well, oh, where are the novices? Somewhere. Yeah, I might hearth out of here. Just kind of get my imp and get back to questing as soon as I can. It means I won't be able to hearth out when I finish the last question here, but... Oh no, it's like kind of annoying to hearth. You don't really even hearth out of the cave because you need to hand in something outside the cave. So it really doesn't save you too much time to hearth out of this cave. In fact, this is probably the best time to use it to save me the most amount of time. So, it's a good thing. Just do it now. Yeah. And back, then we'll continue on. There's novices just a little bit deeper in the cave, I think, is where they are. I know they're in this cave, but not that one. That's one right there. Yeah. Definitely not going to try and kill all those 3 guys. That's not going to be a good thing for me to try to do. Thought that guy was going to aggro me for a second. Out of mana here, which is not ideal. Got a feather charm. Just need to get 3 more of those. I'm gonna use my mana up right here to kill this guy, and then maybe he drops some water. That'd be nice. But oh, a chest. That might have some water in it. Very possible. Novice, novice. Great. Novices right here. No. Oh, no. Neither of this is water yet. Okay. Bread and cheese. Very good things, but not those aren't water. Use up all my mana on shadow bolts here, and then move around the corner. Actually, it looks like I'm gonna kill him with shadow bolts. We're very close to it. That's nice. Okay, feather charm, and then this guy over here looks like it's a 100% drop rate, which it typically is in starting zones for these kinds of quests. So a little low on mana to fight this guy, but I'm just gonna run around the corner after I exhaust my mana. I'll run around the corner, give him a chance for my mana to recharge. Oh, that's actually looks like that was enough. Why'd the first one take so much? Did the one resist or something like that? Not sure. The first novice I killed took way more shadow bolts, it felt like. So not sure what that was about, but Okay. I mean, if maybe that wasn't efficient. You know, maybe getting the imp, you know, before anything else is not the way to do it. Kind of just might slow you down on the route too much. But I feel like it's such a DPS increase having that imp out and available. It can't be wrong to get that literally as soon as you can. Gonna help me kill things way faster from here on out. So I think it's probably a good idea. And, you know, switch up the route a bit. Switch things up, you know, hearthing at different times in the starting zone, that kind of stuff. Seems also quite good. Okay. Summon Imp, very good. I'm just gonna double check what level 4 is. Corruption's worth getting for sure, and Curse Weakness is not, but we'll definitely come back at level 4 for Corruption, and we don't get anything from her. Alright, let's summon the Imp and see what the name for our demon is gonna be. Something, one of those things in Classic, you can't name your demon. So let's see what the imp's name is. Galuri. That's a decent one. We'll take it. We have no choice except for to re-roll a character. We won't be doing that. Okay, well, Refugee's Quandary. I'm actually going to stop by the general goods. We only need a silver for the rest of the, you know, starting zone. So I'll probably buy literally 10, maybe 15 even water for the rest of the starting zone. Use a lot of my money, but that's okay.
What can I get for you?
1, 2. Let's just go for 50. Why not? Why not? Why not? Now let's kill some trogs. Actually, what I'm gonna do right away here is, this will save me some time, is make a pet attack macro. Attack, so slash cast immolate and slash pet attack. That should be the right syntax. I can't quite remember. Yeah, so now when I cast immolate, my pet will immediately attack that target. Save me a bit of time, and it's good to do these kinds of things on your pet classes. So yeah, Warlock's pretty awesome if you are watching these for the first time and don't really know too much about Classic. Warlock's pretty great because they get a pet. They're one of 2 classes that gets pets. Warlocks get pets and demons get pets. Or no, Warlocks get demons as pets and hunters get beasts as pets. And the hunters, you have to train them, you have to feed them, you have to like kind of develop loyalty and friendship with them, that kind of stuff. Whereas now this Galuri, he's my indentured servant. If he dies, I resummon the same guy, and he's just my dude. And there's nothing. I don't need to worry about his happiness. Don't worry about his food. Nothing like that. He's just my you know, servant for the rest of his life. Or rest of Janetti's life, more accurately, because but they get them really early, level 3, as you can see, for us here, level 3 to get an imp, and as you can see, it's dealing an extra, you know, 8 damage per hit, and that is a big amount at this early stage. And they can also help you survive. You know, if you start running away, they'll attack your pet eventually as it starts to deal more damage than you. So it's not just like an extra DPS increase, but it's also a survivability increase, even having the imp. And so the cool thing about Warlocks, if you don't know, is we got this imp to start at level 3 here, but at level 10. We'll be able to summon a Void Walker, which is more of a tank demon. It doesn't deal quite as much damage as an imp, but it has more health, and it has a taunt ability, so it gets things to target it instead of you. And it's just kind of a great leveling tool for a hardcore character, is to use that as a buffer between you and the enemies, and a way for to sacrifice itself for you, so you don't die, but your demon does die. Same thing works for hunters. Where you can sacrifice your pet, because you can revive your pet later, and you can't revive yourself, obviously. So that's really what makes Warlock and Hunter 2 of the stronger of the classes in hardcore, is their ability to have pets to do a lot of the dangerous work for them. Like, if you're not sure about how a pack might react if you hit one of them, send your pet in, you know? Your pet gets all the aggro and you realize it's too much for you, you run away. Like, you know, simple as that. Whereas other classes, you either take the risk yourself or you don't take the risk at all, right? Like you either do it or you don't. Alright, let's finish off this quest and then go hand it in and train level 4 for immolate, or not immolate, corruption. Yeah, this starting zone definitely is faster than the Night Elf one. I was talking about that in the Night Elf video, the last one, the Druid, and I was talking about how either the Night Elf zone is slower or Druid and Hunter aren't as good as I thought, and now doing this zone again, I'm filming this one right after. I definitely would say that it's got to be the fact that the Night Elf zone is just laid out. The quests are in an order and at locations, and maybe like, I don't know, stuff like that. That makes it so that starting zone is just a little slower, because I'm moving at a much better clip, I think, here in this starting zone. I'm already part way into level 4, 20 minutes in, so I'm not 100% sure though. If my memory's off on that, maybe it's not. But I'm pretty sure that so far that the elf zones have been the longest of the first 8 episodes. And it looks like that trend is going to continue. Okay, in fact, I might have actually messed up here. So I can't get Blood Pact right away, but that's okay. Blood Pact, it gives me 20 extra health, which, you know, it is a lot right now. 88 instead of 108. But I shouldn't be in danger of dying in the starting zone here, so not too concerned about that. Do want to get that as soon as I can, though, once we get out of the starting zone, or before, because I'm actually going to move these down here, move this back up to there, and move this over here. Great. Okay, what do I got to do? Refugees Colony, Boar Hunter, Troll Cave. Yes. Okay, so we'll do the Boar Hunter quest kind of as we move there. Actually here, get corruption and that on, and then honestly at this point I think I can probably split my focus on 2 mobs. Yeah, that's good, that's efficient right there. Now I got 2 damage over time effects, and let me actually also just show you real quick what these damage over time effects do compared to Shadow Bolt. Shadow Bolt, it takes 1.7 seconds to cast, deals 13 to 18 shadow damage. Immolate deals 9 initial and then 20 over 15 seconds. So it's long lasting, but it deals a ton of damage. And then corruption, 40 damage over 12 seconds. So ridiculously strong spell. So yeah, like it's definitely worth casting these on multiple creatures, especially if I can like get myself some distance, let my pet take a couple hits from these guys, get a couple of these ticking away on multiple creatures would definitely help me as you can see here. Very, very useful. I probably won't cast another Shadow Bolt for a little some time. My imp attacked that because I accidentally targeted it with a pet attack earlier. So this. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be pretty fast here with these abilities. Being able to just cast 2 spells, run away, start killing something else, and by the time this thing really gets to me, it's dead, is pretty awesome here. And it's pretty mana efficient too. That's a big thing here too. Gotta hit it a couple more times. Then die. Sweet. This is why Warlock's so fun. You just really can just dot things up and run between your pets killing stuff while you like gather herbs or, you know, skin stuff or whatever. It's just like really efficient feeling gameplay, and you really become very strong. You know, Warlock might be the strongest hardcore class. It really might. It's close between some. It depends on what you mean by strong. Like chance to make it all the way. That's one level of strength you could measure. Ability to do it quickly without dying, that's another strength. And then just like yeah, chance of success, ability to do it quickly, and then just like consistency of it, like I guess would be another way to measure the strength of it. But like warlocks are pretty close in all those, every category you could possibly measure for hardcore. Kind of, they are really strong in terms of the chance to actually make it all the way. They're very survivable. Although the one thing warlocks really do lack is an escape tool. They don't, other than fear, which can be a little bit dangerous. They do have a good fear ability, but they don't have any mobility increase at all, other than if you go engineering, which it might be why I might go for engineering on this character, because other than engineering, there's no way for a warlock to get any speed increase ever. Like, you never can run faster, ever, other than enchanting your boots or using engineering items. So for that reason, definitely might be worth. Ooh, I need to bring the mug back. That's so annoying. That quest must not have been available when I came here last. Huh? Should I do that? When's the best time to do that? Because I gotta run there and back no matter what. I might as well just do it when I'm. Yeah, there's no point in doing that now. Yeah. Okay, let's go do the Refuge's Quandary. If that's the last quest I hand in, then I'll know exactly how much I need to do to get to 6 before I leave. Your pet can kill things and tank for things as you gather things. It's just awesome. Love Warlock a lot. Really big fan. It's kind of just Hunter, but cooler aesthetic and kind of more powerful in some ways. You know, not every way, but some ways. Definitely very strong. Very strong class. Good toughness. Good survivability. Yeah, escape tool's the only thing that's lacking kind of that way, but you don't really need to escape very much. You don't need to run away from things very often. It's very rare. And if you do, you kind of run away at normal speed as long as your pet has aggro things, right? And your pet can die, and then you're too far away at that point for something to catch you. So it's hard for you. It's not. I hesitate to say anything's hard to die on in classic WoW hardcore, because it's definitely possible to die on any class in hardcore WoW. I don't want to say that any of them are easy or anything like that. But if anything's easy, it's Warlock, I would say. Or Hunter. Yeah. And like I've always said, you could take as long... I could take it, you know, the most time in the world and like really be as cautious as possible and really take my time with every single thing I do on these characters. And then I would definitely make it, right? Like, if you want to be as cautious as you literally possibly can be, take 0 risks, and like make sure your hearth and all your potions are up every single time that you ever engage any mob, like that of any danger. Yeah, it's pretty easy, I would say, to finish the challenge. But I'm trying to like make things interesting and also not take literally forever. Like I am gonna try and move quickly, and I'm gonna try and do things quickly. I'm not gonna be recklessly running around, you know, anything like that. But I'm also not going to, you know, really take super slow routes to gain a little bit of extra survivability. You know, I'm gonna make things interesting for the videos, but also interesting for myself. Like I just said, like I think it'd be easy to complete this challenge in quotes by making it as unchallenging as possible and taking no risks and just doing easy stuff the whole way. But that's not really it's not really interesting, is it? It's pretty boring and isn't really like part of this challenge is that bad things can happen, and so like, yeah, going in things like caves will be fun, right? Like will be the exciting parts of the challenge, is going into caves or going into dangerous areas or going to areas that I don't even maybe know. Like, I played this game a lot and I know most of the areas in the game. I know most of the quests. You know, it's possible I've done every single quest in WoW Classic. I think that might be true, or close to it. But it's possible, you know, that Yeah, I'm gonna probably actually, what I'm gonna do here, I think this is worth going to doing this there and back quest, to sell some stuff as well. Maybe I didn't sell stuff in between my last fight, because I don't think I got all this from boars and trolls. I think I must have not sold things in between another time. Oh well. Yeah, I think this is the best time to do this then. Then we'll have a good sense of things. It's a very short distance to run. So where are we at? 30 minutes in. Pretty much one last quest to do. Yeah, this is definitely faster, I would think, than the Night Elf starting zone. Pretty sure. Yeah. I guess I didn't really touch on what like I mentioned that gnomes are the best race for I mentioned that gnomes are the best race for my mage and my warlock, and I guess I can explain why. Gnomes have this trait here called expansive mind, which is intelligence increased by 5%. And intelligence in WoW is the skill or the attribute that increases your mana pool and your critical strike chance with spells. So obviously for casters, it's better to have more intellect than not. Get this blood pact will teach our imp a spell that will give us more health. So that's good. Now we have blood pact because I can cast it. Increases our stamina by 2, which functionally increases our health by 20. But yeah, having increased intellect is just good for casters. As warlock, it's less important than mage. As warlock, the most important class or stat is stamina, and I'll probably get into that at a later date. But it's stamina. For mage, obviously, it's intelligence or intellect. It's still good to have high intellect. Like intellect's the second stat for warlock. It's first stat for mage, second stat for warlock. But no other class or no other race really gives any particular benefits to the warlock. So you might as well just pick gnome if you're gonna pick one for its abilities racial. Gnomes also get this arcane resistance, so you're a little bit resistant to arcane damage. You also have 2 other racials. Engineering skill increased by 15. That just kind of helps it start a little higher. It doesn't actually only do that, but that's pretty much functionally what it does. And then the last one is escape artist, which actually I probably should have on my toolbar. This escapes any effects of immobilization or movement speed reduction, which is really nice for hardcore. It's actually that's one of the reasons I almost considered getting being a gnome for my warrior, because warrior movement speed or immobilization stuff is kind of another way that you die easily. So it was a toss-up between gnome and warrior, or gnome and human for in terms of race, for that reason. But I went with human still because I believed. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about this, and I don't want to be corrected. But at this point, I've made the characters, so I can't go back on it now. So tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I think that, or if you think that I'm wrong, I don't think anyone has a definitive answer on this thing. But it's my belief that the racials of human, which are increased sword or mace skill, and increased spirit, help a lot with warrior. Spirit's good for getting health between fights, and then the sword and mace skill, it doesn't look like a lot. It just increases each one by 5. But it pretty much what that does. It means that you are fighting as if you're 1 level higher than you are in terms of chance to have your sword or mace skills parried or dodged or crit, right? Like, so it increases those chances by a whole level, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It's a big deal. It means you're way less likely to be missing and getting dodged and getting parried than you would be otherwise. Which, as a warrior, that's really the most important thing. Is hitting things with your skills and your weapons. Like, if you're not hitting things, you are literally doing nothing, and it's really tough to beat that. Alright, let's actually kill this guy and then use our many drinks we have. Kind of overbought drinks, I think, but we're doing okay, so not too worried. And make our way through this cave. So yeah, how are we doing on levels right now? We're level 5. We have 2 more quests to hand in. We have this one and then the one that you hand in right before the end of this area. And then we have a cave to fight through after that. So it might be that we just need to fight through this cave because we did do that warlock quest early, which gave us extra XP. So it might be just fight to the back of this cave and out, and then we might be done after that. Technically, I'm not supposed to have this. I'm gonna click that off. So yeah, I made an amendment to the rule set that I need to even click off buffs. I hadn't really, well, not really amendment, but more of like a clarification. I actually hadn't decided before last episode what I was actually gonna do if people give me buffs, and I decided, I think, in the spirit of the rule set, I should click them off. I should take them off. So that paladin buffed me with a spell, and I'm going to choose not to use those spells. You know, I don't want to be, you know, if someone like walks by me and just keeps running, I'll just click it off. If someone like is like hanging around a lot, maybe I'll keep it on, because I don't want someone to think I don't know, ungrateful or something like that. But alright, let's kill this big boy here and give him a couple dots so he resisted my immolate. It's not good. Imps gonna die almost, looks like. Oh yeah, man, did die. The imps are definitely very flimsy. That's the thing. They deal a lot of damage, but man, if they get targeted by anybody for any amount of time, they will just die. Whereas Voidwalkers, that I'm gonna get at level 10, they have a lot more survivability. They can tank a lot. So I expected to fight more things when I was in here, so actually I'm gonna fight a couple more things on my way out. Kill a couple extra creatures here on the way out of this cave. Because I think I need the XP to hit level 6. Okay, now I'll start fighting my way out of the cave. Looks like things have respawned behind me. So I'm going to fight my way out of this cave and probably be good enough there to just kind of make my way out of the starting zone. I think we might need a little more XP than I expected, so let me just kill a few extra guys here. Yeah. Let's get to get 2 more bars of XP at least before we get out of here. Get 2 people with dots on them. Oh, my mana's out. Okay, that's fine. Water. On in a bit. get some dots. Damage over time. All these last two guys. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, just killed the last two guys on the way out of the cave here. Good to go. This last one too. Just the last guy. Well, maybe second last guy. Kill one or two more people outside the cave. Keep saying it's the last guy we killed, but maybe one or two more. It's always, you can always kill an extra guy in my class. Always worth getting a little bit more XP. This guy and then we're done. You think after the fourth time of doing this, I would remember how much XP. Every time I do this, I think, oh yeah, okay, just remember how much XP these give, like roughly speaking. But I keep forgetting completely. I guess because I do them not back to back. That's probably why. So, but I keep forgetting exactly how much XP these give. Plus, handing these in, like, give like a ridiculous amount of XP or just a little bit. Oh, a lot. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good to head straight to the end. No more need to fight other things. In fact, we might have done a perfect job of how much we need to kill. And so yeah, 42 minutes on the recording. Yeah, I think this is definitely faster than the Night of Starting Zones. Definitely faster. I think the fastest one still is going to be the Rogue and the Huming Zone, which if I had to bet money on which of them was the fastest, I don't think I would have said Human Rogue. I don't think so, but I think that's what it's going to end up being. Not that I've made a big race of it, not that I tried to speed through every single one as fast as possible, or I might have just been faster on one just because it's more focused. So it's not like I was making a big deal of going as fast as I possibly could, but it's interesting to see that I was going roughly at the same pace, or I was trying to go roughly the same pace, and some of them were, I think, significantly faster than the others. That's pretty interesting. Hey.
What can I do for you?
Leveled up, one bar in, so we leveled an extra bar than we needed. Plus, honestly, I'm just not gonna kill these guys in this cave. I'm just gonna run through it. I don't care. Let's just run through here, put the pet on passive so it doesn't try to kill things, and let's run through this cave. And then, once we get to the inn here in Karanos, we will have completed 1 to 6 and out of the starting zone on every single class for the challenge. And that's pretty exciting. We can finally start to, it just goes to show that, we're like pretty much 8 hours of content in almost, and we are still kind of, now we can start. It took 8 hours of playing. I guess a little under 8 hours because some were 45 minutes to an hour, that kind of thing. So we'll say 7 hours of playing in, and we are only just now getting to really start the game. So that's kind of, I think that's pretty emblematic of how this is kind of gonna feel going forward. Like, it's really gonna be a long series that may never end. This may continue on for as long as I want to do it, because I can see this it's really hard to get one class level 60 without dying, at least in my opinion, and getting all of them will just be a pretty colossal effort. So it just is gonna, I'm sure we'll be back here again running this exact same path with a level 6 character. I'm sure that someone will die. I'm sure someone will die in like the 20s at the kind of the earliest, That's what I expect. I mean, honestly, anyone could die. Anyone could die at any moment. And classes like Hunter, you know, I expect them to go really far. But before I get a pet at level 9 or 8 or something like that, if I accidentally go into a bad area or pull an extra mob and I can't get away and I get killed, like that could definitely happen. Hunters are pretty vulnerable, and other classes are very vulnerable early on, so I'm gonna need to make sure I'm staying focused, staying on top of things if I don't want to have an early death. But no matter what, I'm sure, no matter how much I try and be cautious, I'm sure we are gonna have an early death. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that at some point, somewhere along the line, we're gonna have a death in the next, I don't know, 20 episodes, somewhere in there, and then we'll be, then that'll actually kind of nice, because then we'll be kind of really off kilter with some of the classes, and we'll have some differentiation in the content. But anyway, that's it for the Warlock. Janetti's gonna wait here for another 8 or so days while we play the other characters, and we'll get back to them right around that time. And I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and leave a comment with any feedback you have about anything about the episode, the sound quality, anything like that. Would love to hear back from you. And subscribe if you would like, if you're interested in catching the next episodes. On the next episode, we're going to be heading back to the warrior, Danos, who's been sitting in the inn for some time now. But we're going to head back to him, and we are going to see how he's doing, and get him adventuring again and have some danger. And potentially, who knows, could be our first death, and it will be really tragic if that happened. But could happen. So catch the next episode. It should be episode 9, and that'll be the warrior starting at level 6, and we'll see how far we can go. All right, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.